Hello and welcome to Hedgewitch Hearthcraft. I'm Caitlin Rhiannon. Thank you so much for joining me for this look at the week ahead. I'm going to be using tarot cards and oracle cards to get an idea of the energy of the week of June 21st to 27th, 2020, and how we can best navigate throughout that energy. So I'm going to be pulling 2 cards for each sun sign of the zodiac. The first will be from the Albano-Waite Smith Tarot deck, and that'll give us an idea of what we're going to be dealing with this week. And then the second will be from the Siecle Kipper deck, and that's going to give us an idea of how to navigate throughout that energy. So you can follow along with the whole video, or you can skip to the cards pulled for your sun sign. But at the very end, I am going to be pulling a universal manifestation card for everybody. So if you do only watch your sun signs predictions, make sure that you skip to the very end so that you can get some of that goodness for this week. So since it is Cancer season, let's go ahead and start with our lovely Cancers. Cancer, your tarot card for the week of June 21st to 27th, 2020 is the Hanged Man. So it is a little frustrating this week, especially for the beginning of Cancer season, because it feels like the wheels aren't really turning. The growth that you have been trying to achieve, the manifestation that you have been trying to reach and bring into your life, it's just not happening. It feels like there's no movement. You're not really able to get traction. Everything is sort of just stopped. This is it's a road bump. It's like you've been yanked up and you're being held in place, unable to actively control your situation, and that can be really frustrating. This does give you sort of an opportunity to go through yourself and to address things that you might be holding on to that are actively holding you back from achieving that growth and manifestation that you're straining so hard to reach right now. And the oracle card that comes along with this is the Poverty card. And aren't we glad we're not using this deck for predictions this week? So what this means in the sense of navigating throughout the energy of this stopped Hanged Man energy is address what these losses or sacrifices that you are making, address what space that is opening up in your life. It might feel like you are losing a great deal or not gaining, or that you are just, you're spinning your wheels, and as you do so, you're running out of gas. So there's this fear that you're going to end up with nothing. But this Poverty card, in a sense of empowerment, it basically tells you to not worry so much about what you don't have, more about appreciating the room that what you don't have makes for what can actually benefit you. And this might also be reminding you that what you are trying so hard to work towards in the Hanged Man card, the reason that the Hanged Man card is stopping you from achieving that is because that might not be something that is of greatest value to you right now. So that may actually be what this Poverty card is trying to remind you of, is that you're not getting it because it's not what matters right now. So try and refocus. Leo, your tarot card for the week of June 21st to 27th, 2020 is the 10 of Wands reversed. So you get a little bit of a break this week. This gives you some time off from responsibility, from obligation, a chance to actually shrug off the mantle of whatever you have been carrying, especially if it's not been yours to carry. If you have been helping other people through things or carrying weight of responsibilities that just haven't been like your personal responsibilities or weight to carry, you get a chance to put it all down. Maybe not permanently, but you get that 5 minutes, that chance to just breathe. It's not yours. It's not yours to deal with. If you have been going through inner baggage and dealing with your own emotional hang-ups and stagnations, this is the opportunity to drop them and leave them behind for good. So releasing that which no longer serves you, or putting down that which you have no reason to be carrying. And the oracle card that comes along with this week for you, Leo, is courtship. So you're being reminded to pay attention to the connections in your life, not just the really deep and particularly significant or long-term connections that you've had in your life, but the new and budding and fresh sparking relationships that you are starting to open up to and develop. So this could be those new emotional connections that you are starting to make. And it can also mean reconnecting with the world in general. So as you are releasing this obligation, you're given this opportunity to open up a little bit more, communicate a little bit more, get to know new people, and open or expand your circle of interaction. So this could be a bit of a fun or more relaxing week for you, Leo. Virgo, your tarot card for the week of June 21st to 27th, 2020 is the Nine of Wands. So this might be a little bit of a more difficult week for you, I'm sorry to say. It will feel like you have to stand up for yourself a lot, or defend yourself, defend your choices, your life path right now. A lot of people in your life don't understand why you are doing what you are doing, or the life that you are living, and that's fine. It's your life to live. It's not their life to live, but it might be a little harder right now for you without feeling like you have a lot of the support that you might be used to or that you might want right now. It can feel like you don't really have anybody at your back and that you are in this alone. Now, the oracle card that comes along this week is Mature Woman, which is actually a little bit of a reassurance that you are not in this alone, or you don't have to be in this alone. Now, a lot of this you do have to do yourself. This is your fight to fight. You can't bring somebody else in, but this mature woman can act as a counselor or advisor. It isn't strictly going to be an older woman in your life, but it is this sort of maternal or grandmotherly energy that has sort of like a really warm but also kind of tough love sort of feeling to her. So what this offers is the chance to learn from somebody else's experience. Maybe ask somebody who has gone through a similar situation how they would navigate throughout this. And don't do exactly as they would do, but there's a lot to be learned from those who came before. Libra, your tarot card for the week of June 21st to 27th, 2020 is the Eight of Swords. So this might be a little bit more of a difficult week for you. There's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of stress. There's a lot of feeling stuck, feeling unable to move, feeling trapped. There might be like actual feelings of panic and fear that you're not able to control that just come out of nowhere. A lot of this comes from not being able to see the direction that things are going in and feeling like things aren't moving at all. So there's this sense of panic and fear of the unknown, and this really uncomfortable wallowing in emotions that have no benefit to you, probably things that aren't even relevant to you right now, just coming up from out of nowhere because your energy is given this period of stillness. Your mind is overworked. Now, the oracle card that comes along this week is Great Fortune. So Libra, things are not as bad as they seem, and this card tells you that. This is a firm reminder that things are way better in a whole lot of other areas than what you are focusing on, and that you are dwelling on the areas that are in the worst shape and completely ignoring the good things in your life. So this is a reminder throughout this week, when you are feeling your absolute worst and your most panicked, try your best to bring it back to something good. Pay attention to the sunshine. Pay attention to the one thing in your life that is glowing and gleaming and golden. and pull your mind away from wallowing in fear and despair and misery. Scorpio, your tarot card for the week of June 21st to 27th, 2020, is the 10 of Pentacles reversed. So it can feel like you're not getting what you have worked for. You've already put in the effort, you've already put everything in motion, planted the seeds, you've done the work, and what the heck, it's not coming. So there's a little bit of frustration in this grinding of the gears and things moving at a snail's pace. You can see it happening. This reversal doesn't mean that things are completely stopped or that your fields have gone barren or you've lost your crop, those farming metaphors. But it does mean that you're not getting it right now. So it's like being slowed down to a snail's pace, unable to collect what you have been manifesting. So the oracle card that comes along with this week is Child. So this helps a little bit with the frustration, or can help with the frustration of stopped movement by telling you to pay attention to the new growth rather than what you started so long ago. Pay attention to new opportunities and the new manifestations that are coming into your life. And also it's a mind the little things, the small, the minor things that you might not notice when you're looking so hard at the big picture. When everything isn't manifesting, look to what is manifesting and pour your attention into that. Sagittarius, your tarot card for the week of June 21st to 27th, 2020, is the Queen of Cups reversed. So there is a little bit of an emotional disconnect this week. You're probably feeling pretty emotionally overwhelmed, or you have been, and that has led to essentially a shutdown. Closing the door on your feelings because you just can't or don't want to handle them right now. And that's understandable. But there are also likely some feelings right now and over the course of this week that are going to keep bubbling up to the surface and causing discomfort because they need to be addressed. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this week is Sudden Wealth. So this is blessings that are likely to be coming into your life throughout the week to sort of try and unreverse that Queen of Cups card, reminding you of the good in your life that encourages you to reconnect with your feelings. So as this good starts to come into your life, if you want to fully appreciate the good, you do need to sort of open up to those uncomfortable feelings as well. But this good that is flowing in is very likely to sort of neutralize the discomfort that you have been dealing with and are going to be processing throughout the week. So if you're able to flip over that Queen of Cups, you're able to fully appreciate the sudden wealth more than you would if you remain numb to your feelings. Capricorn, your tarot card for the week of June 21st to 27th, 2020, is the Sun reversed. So even reversed, this is a really good and pleasant and happy and successful card. So it tells you that there are good things in your life throughout this week. This is probably a better week than it could be, but it doesn't feel like it's the best week that it could be. So you might not appreciate it as much as you could because it isn't what you expect, or the good is coming to you in ways that you aren't able to fully recognize and appreciate because it's not what you expected. It's not what you wanted. It's not what you planned. It's good, but it's not happening the way that you wanted it to happen. So the oracle card that comes along with this week is Coffin. So it's telling you that the best way to fully flip this sun upright so that you can totally bask in its wonderfulness and the good that it has to offer you is to lay some things to rest. This can be connections that are dampening your happiness. It could be expectations that are no longer reasonable. It could be thought patterns that are no longer relevant to you, or emotional connections that are just no longer relevant. So there is something in your life that you're ready to let go, Capricorn. You're ready to say goodbye for good and leave it behind. And once you're able to do that, you're able to more fully connect with the good and the joy that life has to give you. Aquarius, your tarot card for the week of June 21st to 27th, 2020 is the Four of Wands reversed. So this is deconstructing structures in your life. You are addressing what no longer serves you. It can feel like there are a lot of things falling apart, though, when this happens. This can be showing the dissolution of relationships a lot of the time. Not seeing eye to eye with people, growing so far apart from the people in your life that you realize at some point they're no longer in your life anymore. So you're addressing old goals and the things that you have built up in your life, and you're seeing that they aren't actually what's best for you. So you're tearing them all down, and this gives you a chance to start fresh, but it also feels like you are going back to ground zero, and that can be very intimidating. That can be very frustrating and energetically draining. This reversed Four of Wands also feels like you just don't have the energy to make things happen right now. Now, the oracle card that comes along with this week for you, Aquarius, is bad health. So aren't we thankful that this isn't a prediction? You're being suggested this week to address the things that aren't good for you. What's holding you back from healing? What is directly contributing to your lack of wellness or wholeness? Are there people in your life that are toxic, that are bringing you down, that are actively impeding your growth and your well-being? Are there situations in your life that are just no good anymore? Are there goals in your life that you're working towards that are doing more harm than good? That's what this week is all about addressing. And as you do that, you're able to keep stripping down what no longer serves and also make room for what you actually want to develop. Pisces, your tarot card for the week of June 21st to 27th, 2020 is the Knight of Swords. So this is a very mentally active week, and this is going to be probably a really good week as far as stress is concerned. Not meaning that it's a good week to be stressed, it's a good week to deal with stress. You're able to see things a lot more clearly. You're able to basically discern reality from illusion and cut through the illusion to see the reality. So you're able to, that also comes back to being able to cut through your own doubts and the illusions that you are putting up about yourself, both the good ones and the bad ones. So there's a chance to really empower yourself and say, no, I don't hate myself. I don't actually think this about myself. I know that I can do this. I've seen that I can do this. I believe in myself. So there's a lot of sharpness there in that ability to just clear out what's blocking you. Now, the oracle card that comes along this week is Family Room. So you are reminded to pay attention to the connections that really warm your heart right now. Now, this doesn't have to be your blood family or your literal family. This is the family that is yours, regardless of whether they were born your family. These are the people in your life that lift you up, the network that supports you, that keeps you grounded and stable, is always there for you. It's your family. So you're reminded that even while you're dealing with all of this, the incoming stress, and you're smacking it away, you don't have to go through all of this alone. You are very supported, and the people in your life are really proud of the steps that you have taken to become the person that you are right now. Aries, your tarot card for the week of June 21st, 27th, 2020 is the Six of Cups reversed. So this is a little bit of an emotional shutdown, particularly in regards to communication. You do not want to talk about your feelings this week, Aries, and you would rather just keep them to yourself, or not even that if possible. Just put them away, not deal with them, definitely not talk about them, definitely not share them with anybody else. So there's also a bit of a layer of immaturity that comes with this, sort of that temper tantrum of, I don't wanna, crossing your arms, stamping your feet, refusing to cooperate, but then also refusing to explain why you are having these reactions, not wanting to deal with it, not wanting to address it. And the oracle card that comes this week is poverty. So for you, Aries, this is a little bit of a warning. Warning of the losses that you might experience if you don't open up a little bit. This is not a predictive card, but it does tell you that you will lose more than you will gain by being so closed off. So in that sense, it is a little bit of a warning throughout this week to don't risk it. If you are willing to lose these connections, if they really don't matter to you, then don't worry about it. Don't worry about your feelings or expressing them or sharing them. But if you want to maintain the trust and the balance with these people and these energies in your life, now is a good time to figure out how to communicate your feelings with them, even just little ways, even just by saying, I don't know how to talk about my feelings right now. Can we figure this out later? That at least doesn't slam the door shut in their face. So be mindful this week of what you are risking when you keep yourself isolated. Taurus, your tarot card for the week of June 21st to 27th, 2020 is the Ten of Swords reversed. So this is a healing week for you, Taurus. You are given a chance to release a lot of uncomfortable feelings or stress, right? Like, this is potentially up to releasing trauma. Now, this is trauma that you have already done the work of processing. It's not just disappearing from your life. It is stuff that has been worked through, addressed, and actively let go of. And that's what you're doing this week, is you are more actively letting go of the things that have been causing you pain or causing you harm, or just stopping you from being the person that you want to be, or achieving the things that you want to achieve. So there is also, because this is a swords card, there is a lot of mental clarity that is coming with this reversal. And the oracle card that comes along with this is thoughts. So that's very tied in with that mental clarity, which is why I jumped right to this. So with this thoughts card and the combination of the reverse Ten of Swords, you're able to work more with your thoughts this week rather than your thoughts being against you. So this isn't saying, oh, you've been dealing with intrusive thoughts, but now they're all gone. If you have been dealing with intrusive thoughts, you're able to deal with them more rather than feeling overburdened by them. In the case of just general mental activity, though, this is taking a bit more control over your thoughts and what you do with your thoughts, and also manifesting them into something a little bit more creative or artistic than you might have been over the last few weeks. So if you are still dealing with stress, it's turning that into art or poetry. If your mind is just going all over the place, it's putting those little thoughts down and letting them plant seeds of something deeper. So you've got a chance to work with your mind this week rather than having your mind working against you. Gemini, your tarot card for the week of June 21st to 27th, 2020 is the Ace of Swords. So there's a lot of mental fresh starts here. And this is a really good one because it isn't like all sorts of ideas crowding your head. It is pops of ideas that help to burst you forward, just step and step and step at a time. So this is really positive in being able to see what is presented to you clearly. If someone isn't being honest with you, you're able to recognize it right away. If someone is being, a little bit more honest with you than they should be, you're also able to essentially read between the lines so that you're able to understand what they're trying to say, not just what they are telling you. Now, the Oracle card that comes along this week with all of this mental clarity, knowing what you need to do, seeing things for what they really are, you get Pathway. And because of all of this Ace of Swords energy, being able to clear out anything in your way and recognizing what obstacles need to be addressed before you can move forward, this Pathway card is your way forward. It's telling you, take steps, just keep moving forward. Every little step of the way, this Ace of Swords is going to keep clearing the road for you and reminding you what you need to do. But it is important that you do take that step after you get the idea, because it's sort of one of those like one at a time energies. It'll be the thought of the Ace of Swords, and then the step along the pathway, and then another thought that inspires you, and another step. That sort of progress. So you're being reminded and encouraged to carve your own path. Find your own way. That can be difficult, it can be overwhelming, it can be intimidating. But for you, Gemini, that's what it feels like is necessary, or at least most beneficial for you right now. Making your own way in the world. And this Ace of Swords is helping you figure out exactly what you need to do that. At the end of all my readings, I like to pull a card from my favorite manifestation deck, the Super Attractor deck. So I've just pulled one for everyone here. So you can do what you will with that energy. You can carry it with you throughout the week. You can meditate on it. You can just leave it here, whatever suits you best. But the card this week says, I'm in awe of the magnificent guidance that's available to me. I love this card because to me, it's all about just being absolutely wide open to the wonder and magnificence of the world and all of the serendipity and the coincidence that isn't really coincidence that guides us and puts us along where we are ultimately supposed to be. But let me know in the comments what this motivator card means to you this week. Thank you so much for joining me for this look at the week ahead. I hope that these readings have been resonant and provide, just a sort of helpful and relevant compass to guide you throughout the energy of this coming week. Make sure that you like the video if it resonated with you. Comment what stood out, what really connected with you, what you thought of that Super Attractor card this week, what you thought of the cards that we pulled for you this week. And subscribe to make sure that you stay connected for more weekly and monthly readings like this. Thank you so much, and blessed be.